everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and once again, I'm here with Chandra with Aran and Franklin Engineering, a show we do every week, or just about every week. Chandra, you and I were talking before about, man, it's already February. And then I said, yeah, and just think, before you know it, May will be here and hurricane season starts again in June. And you said, we're still getting calls and people still trying to take care of from Burl, and that was back the week
That was
after
in
July.
July. Yeah,
And
that was in July.
so let's talk a little bit about that because next week I think we're going to talk about maintenance, but let's talk a little bit about that because man, here we are 6, 8 months, 6, 7 months later, and people are still having to deal with it.
Yeah, that's the problem, David. I mean, it may seem straightforward as far as how much damage you actually had for that storm, but as time goes on, you start realizing things maybe are not what you thought they were. Maybe you didn't make a claim. And then after all these ice storms and some of the winter winds that we've had, you realize, okay, yeah, actually maybe have had some shingle issue, I'm getting some leaking. I have some siding that's loose, something like that. So it's not too late. I mean, you're still in your window to file a claim if you
How
need
long
to.
is that window usually?
It depends on your policy, but usually you have anywhere from 12 to 24 months after an event to
Okay.
file that. So you're still in that window to be able to file a claim if you notice damage after the storm. The other thing is like some people knew, okay, well I've got roof issues, and then they get into it, they realize, oh, I have more issues than what they
Right.
originally thought, so they can do a supplemental once they kind of get into it. But we're still seeing a lot of re-roofs and roof repairs, a lot of siding repairs. Um, Most of the window and door repairs that we're seeing are because there were seal issues and the seals on the windows and doors broke. And so if you're noticing like the moisture in the window,
Yeah.
your seal broke in your windows, you're not actually controlling that temperature inside to outside. So that could be an issue if you notice that. So those are the things you kind of need to look for: leaks, loose, roof uh, shingles or panels or anything like that, and then loose siding. Uh, if you notice leaking and it's like on the underside, see some of this may have been from this freezing that we had. There
Hmm.
could have been some exposed pipes that maybe leaked. You may have soffit that we need to take off and look underneath to see what's going on. But anything that you do to investigate these leaks, you've got to put back to the wind code. So
Right.
even if you say it was from the freeze and oh, I've got a pipe that broke or whatever, you start taking your soffit off or your siding off to get into the wall, that all has to be put back to windstorm code. So
The
you
one.
can't just ignore the fact that, oh, it's because of a freeze.
Right.
Everything that you do to the house, whether it's caused by wind or not, has to be put back to that same criteria. So don't think you're just going to go in, do a
And
few things,
do a
put it
quick
back, and
fix.
make. Yeah, you got to follow. You got to make sure you add in that little extra engineering
Right.
step to make sure that you're covered. You don't want to have an issue later when they say, "Oh, you made these repairs. Oh, and now we need a windstorm certificate." So you don't want
Right.
to be chasing yourself after the fact.
I saw a report, and I can't remember where I saw it. I came across it, I think, either last night or early this morning, and it was on Burl in the winds, and they were showing the different areas what the official winds were, and I'm going to argue with it because
Yeah.
I know that on several wind gauges over here, we had gusts at 100 and 100.6 and
Mhm.
101 over here,
Right.
and they were showing like 40 and 50, and I'm like, man, I don't know where you're getting
Yeah.
your information from, but I was out in it, and so, but if anyone has a question and they want to, get some input on, do I need to report
Sure.
this, or how do I report this? How do I make sure that I'm in compliance with the wind certificate? What's the best way to get hold of you? I'll go to your website.
Yeah, just go to our website, aaronfranklin.com, or you can email us at info@aaronfranklin.com. Either way, we can check what certificates you have on file. If you have something from the insurance company saying what they're paying you for or what
Uh-huh.
damages they want to see a certificate on, we can evaluate that and make sure you get the right thing and get that back to the insurance company.
Okay.
The other thing is if you're just really not sure, what you need to do, or if you're not sure if you have damage. I mean, who can see the top of their beach house? Like,
Yeah.
unless you've got like we've got drones, you've got drones, but not
Right.
everybody does.
And
So
that's what I got calls after Burl and from some people down here and said, David, I'll pay you. Come out and take
exactly.
pictures. And so I took an overall picture all the way around their house, and I went
Right.
in and zoomed at all the ridge
That's the
rows.
amazing thing about drones. First of all, it's safer,
Yeah,
and
in the
the
corners.
picture quality is so good. Like you can really you can control the drone and you can zoom in and see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like how
It
good a
saves a
quality
lot.
it is.
I was talking to a roofer, and he said, man, I don't even get on the roof anymore, an estimator. And I said, what do you
Mhm.
do? He said, well, I take a picture of the roof, and I can go up and I measure the distance, and I can count rows and
Mhm.
know the distance, so I know how many bundles,
Squares you
how
need.
many
Yeah,
squares I
exactly.
have on that roof, just as probably as good, if not better, than if I went up and measured it. He said,
That's right.
I,
Google Earth is really awesome. You can see like the profiles of the roof and rough
mm-hmm,
dimensioning of everything. But the drone does kind of the same thing. We can do a specific, top down view of the whole roof, and then we can zoom in on areas that need, that need a little bit more detail. But yeah, it's if you so, and then the same
it's
thing.
changed inspection some too.
Who's going to climb up on a ladder and look at their bolts or look at their soffit or look at it? I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's just not really feasible for most people, especially people that are retired that aren't going to, they're like, my ladder climbing days are over.
Right.
So I mean,
Well, and
between the
what I
drone
did
and
was,
ladders, we can usually see everything we need to see.
my pictures have metadata, so
Mhm.
it proves that this is the date it was taken, and there's never any question, oh, that picture was 2 years ago or
Right.
something,
Same
or this
thing.
wasn't then. That the metadata on the picture gives you the information. Well, next week I know we're going to talk about maintenance because we're in February already. Valentine's Day is right around the
Yes.
corner, uh, but we're going to talk about maintenance because before you know it, Mardi Gras, spring break, and summer vacationers will be staying in your vacation rental. So
That's right.
y'all stick around. We'll be back next week with Chandra with Aran and Franklin Engineering. Chandra, thanks for joining us this morning. Dave scaped out on us this
He did.
morning,
He was
so
supposed to. He was supposed to jump in on this, and we were
he
going to see his,
he, he came
beautiful
up
mug.
with an
But
excuse not to be there, so Chandra had to fill in. So
that's
anyway, we're
okay.
gonna head on out. Hope you
Routine.
enjoyed the show. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye bye.